You're watching Pyro Media Network. Hello, Pyro Media family. Thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We hope your experience with us is fruitful. While we are loading your experience, please do us a quick favor and hit that like button from whichever platform you're watching or listening on. And we do hope you consider hitting that subscribe or follow button so you can check out more of our amazing content. All right, let's start the show.
What is going on, Mavericks? We are back with another episode of the Unusual Mavericks. I'm your boy Kwame, joined by the bearded one, the melanin proficient, the crest smile, just Dominic. What's going on, brother?
Hey, how you doing, Kwame?
I am good.
Has this week been treating you?
This week has been a little rough, but we're hanging on in there.
But you made it through.
Yes. Hallelujah.
How's everybody doing?
Yeah, shout out to Bullet and Flight Radio, keeping me afloat this week with the motivations. What's going on, Keats? How you doing, King?
Keats.
Yes. Everybody, come on the road. Y'all do me a quick favor and hit that like button, share, and subscribe. It does help the algorithm, and it lets people know that we are live, ready, loud, live, and in color, and it lets people know what's going on. We're going to be talking about some Blerd stuff. So if you are a black nerd or know anybody else that is a black nerd or just a nerd in general, come on through. Okay, we got a lot to talk about today. Today, we're going to be talking about, we just finished a series just on black influencers within the comic world. Now we're going to be talking about comic, black
Fictional
superhero
characters.
Yes, black
Right.
fictional characters within the comic world. So stay tuned for that. But before we do and get into that, you guys know that we are going to be talking about one of my favorite segments, the Maverick Alert. Let's get on into it. All right, y'all. Oh, yes. Dr. Ho said he is driving home listening. Thank you for listening, Dr. Ho. Make sure you drive safely. Yes, please. All right, y'all. We are going to be heading into the Maverick Alert. So first up, let's see what is going on. Bob Iger axes the MCU. Let me pull up my notes because when I saw this, I was actually really, really pissed. Let's get on into it. Okay. So first up, for those who don't know, for 15 years, Marvel movies have dominated the global box office, but now that's starting to change. What was once a stream of successes with critics and fans alike has turned into a mixed bag of failures and flops in recent years. After last week's Morgan Stanley conference in San Francisco, Disney CEO Bob Iger recently made some devastating revelations, along with admitting to canceling multiple projects that he no longer believed in, quote unquote. It was revealed that the Marvel Cinematic Universe might have taken the biggest hit in a wave of cancellations by not releasing completed projects like Ironheart. Now, for those who don't know, Ironheart was a or is a superhero character, a black young lady who basically is kind of smarter than Tony Stark, and was going to kind of carry on the mantle of Tony Stark. And in this iteration of the MCU, she was supposed to kind of carry on Tony Stark's legacy, along with Spider-Man, who inherited all of his stuff. But that's no longer happening. Bob Iger said the company quietly canceled several projects, sparking Marvel fans to speculate about axed MCU movies and shows. Some MCU projects like Wonder Man, Ironheart, Armor Wars, Eyes of Wakanda, and Blade reboot are believed to be canceled, leading to disappointed fans. At this time, Iger revealed that Blade has been frozen in development. Hell, it's highly unlikely if the Mahershala Ali Blade reboot will ever start production, Deadline reported. While Vision Quest and Wiccan are rumored to be repurposed and rolled up into one project like the rumored Young Avengers series, the Secret Wars gets major reboots. While the CEO didn't go as far as naming names during the conference, it's enough to get many Marvel fans up on their hackles in apprehension for the fate of a cultural diverse Marvel universe. Marvel multiverse. Diehard fans will still be getting their fix this year, as Deadpool and Wolverine 2024 is still slated to be the studio's summer blockbuster, and the rest of the year is stacked with series releases like X-Men 97, Agatha, Darkhold Diaries, and Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man coming to Disney Plus. This kind of pisses me off.
Yeah, I love the way that they worded it. The fate of a cultural diverse Marvel multiverse may be in jeopardy, because if everyone noticed every single project that you named, let's go back over all those projects that you named.
Yep. So that was Wonder Man, which was supposed to be a black Wonder Man. Ironheart, Armor Wars, which included War Machine, who is black. And an Eyes of Wakanda, which I was really looking forward to, and Blade reboot. Yeah, and the Blade reboot.
So, I mean, you can't help but look at this and say, what is the common thread here?
Yeah, they're all Negroes.
And today, last night, news broke that Captain America, starring Anthony Mackie, is undergoing major reshoots. Up to 90% of the movie will be reshot, and a lot of the supporting cast has been eliminated. Ouch.
So one of the reasons, I'm gonna be very honest with you, one of the reasons why I leaned and became a major Marvel fan is because of its diversity, because they were willing to go to go the lengths of including images of Black Panther, even in the Eternals. Even though people didn't really like it that much, there was still diversity in it. We had a gay interracial couple, we had interracial cast members, so there was a lot of different things that were going on, and we were starting to see a opening of more of us on screen. And so I'm
and that sequel has been canceled too, you know that, right?
Eternals too?
Yes,
which of course they would, because whatever. But I'm a little pissed off about that, and so just letting you know, Bob Iger, you may lose major fans at Disney. You may lose people, and this is not a good look for Marvel. It's looking really bad. And if DC is smart, they will take a close look at this. And speaking, do you have any more on this?
No, I don't.
Speaking of DC,
what else can you say?
Nothing. And I know we were super excited about a lot of the stuff that was going on with Marvel before, like some of these things, and I know I sounded really negative because I was like, we'll see. I don't know. Like, this is the exact reason why I did not want to get super excited, because of the BS like this. That's exactly why I didn't want to get excited. I knew, and I didn't want to speak it into existence, but I felt in my Shata Shondo, right behind my Kidney Plus Supreme, that the Blade, Mahershala Ali Blade was going to be canned, because they were already having issues, and they were already saying that they were having issues. If they were going to continue to go on with and they were having issues, they would have kept it behind scenes, but I believe that Mahershala brought it to public light, and his team brought it to light because in the hopes of having fans push, for it or whatever. So, they're doing the same thing that they did with Wesley Snipes when he wanted to do Black Panther. So,
all over it's deja vu all over again.
Deja vu.
Yeah.
But speaking of DC, the DC universe is watching Disney closely. Is this good news for fans? So Warner Brothers, while Warner Brothers Discovery was considering merging the 100-year-old studio with Paramount, but now seems to be more concerned with not making any missteps like Marvel Studios has done, Disney's financial struggles have all major studios on high alert. Is Warner Brothers throwing finished movies in the trash out of fear? The DC Universe prepares to reboot with the release of James Gunn's Superman next year. The other pillar of DC is taking a little break to strengthen its Elseworlds projects out of over concern before hitting the box office. Reports are coming in that the Matt Reeves Batman Part 2 is no longer opening on October 3rd, 2025. Deadline says. The movie is now releasing a whole year later on October 2nd, 2026. Warner Brothers is concerned about quality as Disney reports major losses and their struggle to break even. Warner Brothers has had a string of success with Barbie, Dune 2, and the modest success of Aquaman 2, The Lost Kingdom. Any slip at the box office could put them in the same boat as Disney Marvel, and David Zaslav, Warner Brothers Discovery CEO, will not stand for it. According to Deadline, the new date is the result of delays due to the dual strikes that hit Hollywood last year, as studios now understand that movies have to be more super high quality to get fans back in the theaters. Will 2024 be the year of reshoots? Is this a cause for concern? It also makes a certain amount of sense that James Gunn and Peter Safron, Safron's new DC studios, can now have an entire year to take the DC spotlight in between the release of the ludicrously expensive Joker Folie à Deux, which is set to hit theaters on October 4th, 2024, setting the film Joker 2 up for Oscar season and campaigning. The return of Robert Pattinson's emo Bruce Wayne may be the real reason for the delay, as studios watch every dollar while navigating through the post-pandemic box office recession. The newly formed DC Studios is under massive pressure to perform better than Marvel Studios' current phase, and Warner Brothers is focused on Colin Farrell's The Penguin. He is reprising his role from the Batman alongside Kristen Milioti. Forgive me, I'm mispronouncing his name. Max ordered the series shortly after the film's March 2022 release. Filming began in March 2023 in New York before it was suspended in June due to the 2023 Writers Guild of America strike. Filming resumed in late November and wrapped 2 weeks ago in February 2024. The Penguin is scheduled to be released on Max near Christmas in 2024 and will consist of 8 episodes. What are your thoughts? This is crazy.
We've already talked about David Zaslav's background, right? Being a CFO at Discovery, and now being a CEO. We know that he is penny pinching. I would do the same thing. Yeah. I would be looking at Disney, Marvel, and said, but they have had a very difficult year, and it is very clear that they have struggled to break even. And Warner Brothers has had just a slightly better year with Barbie and the other films that you named. It was reported that Aquaman officially broke even and made like $1.8 million in profit. You hear me? $1.8 million only in profit at the box office. Of course, the streaming numbers are still coming in, so they're fine. But that was almost a failure. That is a very modest box office hit. So I understand why they would get nervous and say, hey, maybe we should pull everything back and look about, just try to figure this whole thing out a little bit more and make sure that we can get folks in. We know that the box office is going through a mighty recession right now, and fans are unforgiving. with these type of properties. You give them what they want, or you can forget about it.
Yeah,
So,
and I think
the message is received.
Yeah, and I think this is a really interesting time. To your point, Dominic, I think this is a really interesting time because we're gonna see if movie theaters are going to withstand the next couple of years, which I don't think that it's going to. So something needs to happen because people are not wanting to spend hundreds of dollars to go to a movie theater or to watch a movie when they can watch it at home. We've been talking about this over and over and over again on our show. We've been voicing it on different platforms. We've been people, and not just us. A lot of other Blerd influencers are talking about it as well. I've listened to a couple of different podcasts. Yeah, it's all over TikTok. People are having concerns about it. Dominic, it's like it's not. We need to pivot, right? There's people are going to YouTube more to watch their stuff. It's not. There's a shift in TV. Cable is obsolete. If you have cable, then you either are really, really, really wealthy, or really well off, and because I know even really comfortable people who live very, very well and don't have cable anymore. Because it's like, what's the purpose? Because now it just looks like you're just wasting money. Because it's not a purpose in it anymore. So if people are shifting to streaming platforms, if people are shifting, hey, Cupcake, shout out to you from Spain. Thanks for coming through, Queen. Thanks for stopping on by.
My favorite places to go.
Yes. She over there trying to talk Spanish now. I don't know what the heck
love Spain.
So shout out to you, Cupcake. We love you, sis.
Leroy and the beard.
Right, and the beard.
Wait, your sound went way down.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So in addition to all of the stuff, like this would be a really good time for DC. Like in addition to everything, like in terms of movies and the movie theater industry or whatever, but in addition to all of that, this would be a really good time for DC to capitalize on their diversity and really bring in a more diverse audience. And pick on some of this is the time to strike. If DC is going to do something, they need to strike this year. This is their
look at what they're doing. We have Waller that's in production, quietly being made. Lanterns, who co-lines John Stewart, Green Lantern, which is a big deal for a lot of Black nerds. So they better go ahead and do it. And then Mr. Terrific is obviously in this next movie. So we just need them to bring Vixen and Rocket up, and then we'll be real good. So bring us the girls, bring us these ladies, because they are powerhouses. So
shout out to you, Dr. Home.
Yes,
glad you made it home safely, sir. But yeah, I definitely want to see what's going to go on, because this is it's anybody's game at this point. Well, actually, it's not anybody's game. Marvel has a lot to catch up on. And y'all know I'm a Marvel fan, but DC has had my heart. We're both Marvel fans, but DC has had my heart for the past 2 years, especially with their animation.
I agree.
So
I agree.
I have no idea what Cupcake is saying in this man. I don't. Cupcake is hilarious, but I just really think that if they're gonna play the game, they need to play it hard and make sure that they utilize this time to bring in. And David Zaslav has played.
What do you think? Can I ask you, what do you think? Because I know you're about to say it anyway, but I want to find out, what do you think of this new plan of how he's kind of spacing out the DC properties? And with the release of Penguin, which will go this year into next year, and then the Joker movie, and then campaigning for next year's Oscars, do you think he's doing too much by pushing back the Batman 2?
I don't. I know we sound like ESPN sportscasters, but like this is really an exciting time for DC and Marvel, and or even just kind of like the movie industry in and of itself, because we're seeing a huge shift, right? And I think that this was I was critical of David Zaslav when he first came on, because it was like a huge change, right? But he played it really smart. He brought DC out of the red. And even Warner Brothers, he made Warner Brothers a tremendous amount of money, by playing these moving things around and making sure that the studios and all of their properties were spaced out, bringing in Max and making that the main source of their libraries for DC, spreading the DC content out and licensing it out to different spaces, connecting with Netflix to bring on a huge powerhouse like Sandman. Nobody expected Sandman. This is what Marvel should be focusing on. If you're gonna bring in a side character, bring in a side character and do it well. Nobody was talking about Sandman. Sandman is such a minute character in the DC world, but they made it, because of the way that they did it, they made it such a huge property, and the way that they produced it, the way that the story that they brought in, it made it interesting. And now I want to know more about Sandman. I want to know more about that character.
That last year, I just read an article last night that said Netflix said that last year their second biggest opening or most watched series was Sandman. Now that Avatar has come out, it has pushed them down to number 3. That's how big Sandman hit, like you said, and it was an obscure character. That is amazing.
Like completely nobody was talking about her. Like nobody. So we'll see. DC, y'all are doing it. We'll see if you guys can hang on throughout everything. So I'm very interested to see how you guys navigate this, and we'll see what you do. Let's go ahead and get into the last kind of topic here in the Maverick Alert. Akira Toriyama passed away. And he passed away on March 1st. And he is the creator of Dragon Ball Z. This took a huge hit, and he passed away from an acute subdural hematoma. And he, hey Walt, what's up, King? Thanks for joining. Y'all make sure y'all go ahead and check out the Walt Bay Connection on Mondays with Walter B and Miss Bay. So shout out to the Walt B Connection. Nice. Thanks for coming on through, King. But Dragon Ball Z was one of my absolute favorite shows growing up. I grew up on this anime. Goku was one of my favorite characters. He was the Superman basically of anime. And so up until One Punch Man came out, but Goku and Dragon Ball Z and the entire Dragon Ball Z universe was a huge staple in my life. And so that and Sailor Moon, which is not a surprise why I'm a whole homosexual. But we do have
my brother and his nephew, and my brother and my nephew really bonded, and I saw that between my brother and his son over Dragon Ball Z. That was a huge part of their life and spending time together. So yeah,
Keats gets me. He says, people of Earth, lend me your energy. And he's referring to, we're going to geek out right now, but he's referring to when Goku was fighting, I believe, Vegeta in the first one. Maybe it was Frieza, but it was Vegeta. And he was creating his first spirit bomb. And so in order for him to do that, he grabbed all of the energy from every living being on Earth, and so to be able to stop Vegeta. So that was a really dope episode. So thanks for remembering that. But shout out to Akira for all of his work. This is a statement from his family and his people. It says, "It's our deep regret it's our deep regret that he still had several works in the middle of creation with great enthusiasm. Also, he would have many more things to achieve. However, he has left many manga titles and works of art to this world. Thanks to the support of so many people around the world, he has been able to continue his creative activities for over 45 years. We hope that Akira Toriyama's unique world of creation continues to be loved by everyone for a long time to come. We inform you this sad news with gratefulness for your kindness during during his lifetime. Funeral service was held with his family and very few relatives. Following his wishes for tranquility, we respectfully inform you that we would not accept flowers, condolences, gifts, visiting, offerings, and others. Also, we ask you to refrain from conducting interviews with his family. So that was a portion of the statement that that his team had, and it was just a really, really come on now, you better go ahead. Cupcake Kamehameha sounds real strange in Spanish. Literally watching my husband watch this in Espanol currently. Oh my god, that's hilarious. But he was a phenomenal. His work was phenomenal.
Yes.
Phenomenal creator. And this is some fan art that was created for him. People are just really super talented. He brought a lot of talent out of people. This one coming up. This is because they thought that he was Goku, because he was basically Goku. But this one right here, this picture of the Dragon Balls and him not being able to utilize Dragon Balls to bring back Akira, kind of hit me. So it was just really, really great artwork that the fans are putting out for him, and this one hit a lot of people. So rest well, sir, and thank you for your contributions to nerddom. So isn't it dope pick? That's a really dope pick. So shout out to everybody that are Dragon Ball Z fans, and thank you to Akira for all of your work, not just Dragon Ball Z, but all of the other anime and creations that you put together. So all right, y'all, let's go ahead and get into the Maverick alert, y'all. Not the Maverick alert, the Blerd news. We have a lot of Blerd news to talk about.
Boy, do we.
My God, on today. It's a lot going
strong,
on.
Bo. Be strong, Bo. Ooh. That's all I have to say. Be strong.
We're going to get to him. Well, actually, he's first up. So you guys know that we're going to head over to Marvel Studios first, and you guys know we have a Marvel shocker. As you guys know, we were talking about in the Maverick alert about Bob Iger making some cuts and things of that nature, and it looks like he made a major cut to Marvel Studios. Marvel shocker, X-Men 97 creator Bo DeMaio, or is it DeMaio or DeMaio? Fired weeks before premiere. DeMaio, a Marvel regular who previously wrote I'm sorry, can we just take a moment to just look? He is a fine man. My God. Anyway, I'm sorry, I digress. So DeMaio, a Marvel regular who previously wrote on live action series Moon Knight. So he created Moon Knight, as well as early drafts of the company's vampire thriller Blade movie, which might have been canceled, which we talked about already. He had completed writing duties on season 2 of X-Men 97, was lining up press and making plans to attend the show's Hollywood premiere on March 13th, yesterday. He was even discussing loose ideas for a third season with members of his team. But early Tuesday, Marvel and DeMaio suddenly parted ways. His company email was deactivated, and cast and crew were informed he was no longer on the project or with Marvel Studios. DeMaio's Instagram account, once a source for X-Men updates, was deleted. No reason for the firing was given other than Iger's comment, quote, canceling multiple projects that he, quote, no longer believed in, end quote. Marvel had no comment. DeMaio's representatives did not return calls for comment, and emails to the showrunner yielded no response to the Hollywood Reporter. It was a surprising turn of events on the eve of the show's March 20th debut. Splitting with writers is a normal part of business for Marvel or any studio. However, it is very unusual for a top creative on key Marvel projects to be fired before a premiere or cancel press plans last minute. Even if they've been shuffled to the side, what is Marvel going at? Why are so many minority projects being pushed out? These are very good questions. Furthermore, what does this mean for X-Men 97? What are your thoughts, Just Dominic?
This is alarming because, of course, he was just picked several weeks ago to head up this new Blade reboot. So it's very discouraging to hear that the writer and director of the new Blade film has been canceled. It sounds like Blade is done. There is no director-writer for the film. There's nothing but a sticker
I'm sorry.
That
Cupcake
says that movie ever existed.
Yeah, I mean, but I think that that's what my issue is. But it's like, does this mean anything regarding X-Men 97? Do you think that this is going to be a problem for X-Men 97 since he wrote most of?
Of course. And he was the creator of bringing back. He rebooted this. Wow, what a nice picture. So who knows what's going to happen with it? This just may be a one-off.
Yeah.
And Blade is dead in the water. So
yeah.
It's
Dr. Holt requested a full body pic. So your wish is my command, good sir. This is Bo DeMeo. So shout out to him. And just so you guys know, he is openly gay. Cupcake said he was. I'm not gonna say that. We're just going up a little flame.
Yes. Anyway, let's move on.
Are you okay, Just Dominic? You good? Do you need a mop?
Of course. Please, I'm good.
What we said? Okay, all right, y'all. The man was fired. Okay, stop lusting after him. He doesn't have a job. So that's what's going on over there on Marvel Studios. I think that this is really concerning for me. Just as a black nerd, and a black nerd fan of Marvel, super concerned about it.
Do you remember what at the top of last year was it? It was over a year ago that we did a report how they cleaned house on a lot of executives that happened to be minorities.
Dr. Holt, he is openly gay. Yes, which I find also very interesting. That a lot of these minorities are, and specifically black LGBTQI or LGBTQI of color, are having issues at Marvel.
Yes, it's pretty gross.
And I would like to also mention that Bob Iger, did he or did he not support Trump in his campaign in the last election? Okay, just wanted to throw that out there. Okay. All right, so that's going to be it for Marvel. Let's head over on to Netflix Studios. This is really just disappointing news, but this is going to pick me up. So what can we expect from season 2 of Avatar: The Last Airbender from show creators? The show's creators have weighed in on what is to come. According to the executive producers, Aang will learn water and earth, which he should have learned in the first book, but we'll move on, much faster than he did in the original animated series. Because of the limited number of episodes and seasons, he will pick up much faster, multitasking bending. Fortunately, the Avatar: The Last Airbender is more hit than miss with fans and critics alike on the basis of this season. It has the potential to get better in subsequent seasons now that the writers and cast have a proper hang of it. Just don't expect it to be exactly like the animated series, and you'll probably like it. With Katara as the new master of waterbending, Aang will learn everything he needs to know about waterbending from her on their journey very quickly. That means he needs to seek either a master firebender or master earthbender to develop his other elements. Hold on one second, I just lost something here. My screen just went crazy. So what are your thoughts on this so far? That because I didn't have an issue.
You want me to finish it?
Please, if you don't mind, while I'm setting this up.
Okay, sure. It says that he will develop his avatar powers further. Naturally, Aang will think of Bumi to learn earthbending from. But Team Avatar is unaware that Amashu has fallen to the Fire Nation. Omashu. Omashu has fallen to the Fire Nation unless they can rescue Bumi. Aang must seek out a different earth-bending master. Fans of the cartoon know that Aang will run into Toph, the blind bandit, aka the blind bandit. And of course, Toph is a master earthbender and metal bender, if I'm going to throw that in.
She's the one that created
Yes. So these adventures should wrap up season 2 and a much different conclusion than the beloved animated series. Will this pace please fans, or will everybody just hate how quickly things are developing from one season to the next? What are your thoughts?
So I feel like we're in a space where people are not going to get what they want all the time, right? But I do think that that The Last Airbender was really, really good. I do agree that there were certain things, like we talked about it in the last episode, where there were certain things that I just did not agree with. I didn't think that like he didn't learn waterbending, and he waited, because again, Katara was supposed to be a waterbender by the time that she got to the Northern Warrior tribe, right? And so that didn't happen. So okay, we get that, fine. But I do feel like for the most part they did a phenomenal job, and I thought that they did an even better job than some of the other things that we've seen, the iterations of things that we've seen. Like, for example, what do you call it? The M. Night Shyamalan movie, which was horrific.
Yeah, now I can see the difference. But I think fans need to consider that the animated series had like between 19 to 22 episodes per season. Somewhere way up there. They had a nice number of episodes. This is getting 8 episodes per season, so they have a lot to condense.
Yeah.
If they want to properly tell this story and move it along. And because seasons are broken apart, as we know, and people have breaks and these kids grow so fast, it takes a year or two, seems like, to get back into production. They have to space everything out. So it's a completely different story or retelling of the same story. I absolutely love it. And I'm not comparing the animated series to this live action series. I think that's a big problem and what people should not do. It's not the same thing.
Yeah, and Cupcake just said, well, I like the Nickelodeon cartoon series. I can't get with this Netflix one. I'll keep trying. Yeah, I mean, it's not for everyone. I don't think that you usually need to force yourself to do it. I do think though that we need to give it a little bit more of a chance, just because I feel like people are expecting exactly the Netflix, or excuse me, the Nickelodeon version, and that started out as an anime. You can do so much more with animation. You can do so much more fictional stuff with animation, and what they did so far with making it as realistic as possible in terms of air bending and water bending and all of the bending powers, and that was really dope. Even just his avatar state was really, really, really dope. Bringing in Kyoshi was really dope. So I do think that they hit the mark on a lot of parts, and I think that overall they did a better job than what I had originally expected. So
I agree.
So yeah, so that's gonna do it for Netflix. That's gonna do it for Netflix. Let's head over to DC Studios real quick and have a conversation about James Gunn. James Gunn is interested in collaborating with the Flash star Grant Gustin and Candice Patton for future comic book films. The director and filmmaker James Gunn has expressed his eagerness to collaborate with Grant Gustin down the line. Gustin is well known for his portrayal of Barry Allen on the CW's The Flash. Interacting on Threads, Gunn responded positively to fans' hopes of seeing Grant Gustin in a DC Universe DCU role. Grant is an incredibly talented guy, performing now on Broadway, Gunn mentioned. He certainly won't go to waste just because he's not involved in a DC project at the moment. I would definitely like to work with him someday, he stated. Candice Patton broke the glass. She did break the glass. She's a queen. Broke the glass ceiling by playing his Iris West Allen. By playing Iris West Allen, becoming the first woman of color to do so. This distinction belongs to Candace Patton, whose decision to step into the shoes of investigative reporter Iris, and arguably even in Marvel, arguably even in Marvel, no word on if Gunn has reached out to Miss Patton for comment. Will Gunn's universe continue to this evolution of the character, or will he move in a different direction? Grant Gustin and Candace Patton have become the millennials generation official Barry and Iris. Their popularity is still huge among fans, and many DC fans want to see them as a part of the DCU. Gustin has a long history with The Flash, being integral to its 9-season run. Beyond that, he's crossed over into several other Arrowverse shows, such as Arrow, Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow, and Batwoman, and even made an appearance on HBO's Max's Titans. So yeah, what are your thoughts?
Well, I liked how they said that the Candace Patton, when she made the decision to step into the shoes of investigative reporter Iris West, that she opened the door for Black women to have more prominent roles on the CW and in the DCU, and arguably even Marvel. That's quite a mouthful right there. Breaking the glass ceiling is not, just for you at your little company and this and that. What she did was super huge. Yeah. I really hope I don't know if he's going to use her. The focus was on Grant in this article, but they also, of course, mentioned Candace because she made history. She literally made history. Yeah. And I'm so proud of her. Even if they don't bring her back or Grant back in the same roles, I would like to see them both be a part of the DC universe in some way, shape, or form. My question to you and everybody who's watching and listening, what would you like to see Grant Gustin play? Obviously, he won't be the Flash. What would you like to see Candace Patton play? She obviously won't play Iris West Allen. What would you like to see her play in the DCU?
That's interesting. I don't know. I think I would like to see her. I don't think she's a vixen. I just don't feel like she's a vixen. I can see her more as maybe like the Black Wonder Woman. Maybe
Nubia.
Yeah, Nubia. I think I can see her as that. But I don't know. That'd be interesting to see what she would cast.
I could see her as Rocket. I could see her as Rocket easy. Because you have to have an emotional range. Rocket is the mother of a child who has, I forgot what handicap that the child has. I think it's Down syndrome. Mm-hmm. And she takes a lot on as a single mother. I believe she's a single mother. Could have that part wrong. But anyway, there is a degree. No, she's not a single mother, but she's the primary breadwinner in her storyline. She has a husband who's kind of the stay-at-home support, and he does a lot of care for. I can see Candace taking on that role because she can bring you the tears and the emotion. Candace is so awesome. So that would be interesting to see that. Grant, I don't know. I would like to see him do something, if he could do something evil.
I can see that. Yeah. Well, let's. I want to see what you guys think. We're running way past time. We're so behind time actually right now. So we're gonna go ahead and do you want to do this last story, or do you want to go into the Maverick talk?
Sure. Let's just go into the Maverick. Okay. All right. I was giving y'all something different.
Okay. Well, let's hurry up and get into. Let's just do it real quick. Okay. So so we're going over to Prime Video. You guys know, well, for those who do watch it, I watched the Invincible, which I think is really dope show. And it looks like the much awaited second part of. So they kind of broke it up into two halves of the second season. The much awaited second part of Prime Video's animated superhero series Invincible is all set to drop this weekend, based on the comic book by Robert Kirkman. Corey Walker and Ryan. Yeah, actually starting today. Invincible is the story of 18-year-old Mark Grayson, who's just like every other guy his age, except his father is the most powerful superhero on the planet. According to Prime Video, here's what to know about part 2 of season 2 of Invincible, including the episode schedule and cast. Season 2 of Invincible has a total of 8 episodes. While the first 4 episodes of the season have already been released, the remaining 4 will be released weekly starting Thursday, March 14th, which is today. So I'm looking forward to watching that. It's going to be a dope thing. They kind of left it at a cliffhanger. So looking forward to seeing that because it's a really damn good show. So if you have not watched Invincible, definitely go and check it out. It is not your average show. It's not a show for kids. So make sure that you guys check it out and watch it like, with by yourself because it is there's a lot of blood, a lot of gore, a lot of cussing. It is not your average anime cartoon and kid show. So definitely check it out. And that's all for Prime Video. All right, that's gonna be it for Blerd News. We're gonna go ahead and take a really quick commercial break. And when we come back, we're gonna get into who is Calvin Ellis, the Black Superman. All right, y'all, stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Because self-care should be luxurious. Luxe Noir.
Hey pilots, did you know that you can now catch the electrifying sounds of Bullet in Flight Radio anywhere you go? Yes, you heard it right. Tune in to the high-flying beats and soaring melodies by downloading the TuneIn app on your mobile device. Just search for Bullet in Flight Radio and hit play. It's that easy. And if you have a smart device like Alexa or Google, just say, "Hey Google," or "Alexa, play Bullet in Flight Radio on TuneIn." Experience the rush of adrenaline wherever you are. Listen to Bullet in Flight Radio on TuneIn using your Alexa or Google devices. Soaring through the skies has never sounded this good. Don't miss out on the ultimate musical journey. Tune in now to Bullet in Flight Radio on TuneIn and let the music take you on an unforgettable ride. Get ready to elevate your listening experience. Brought to you by Bullet in Flight Radio.
Are you ready for enlightening conversations that transcend boundaries? Get ready for Conversations with Clergy, brought to you by the HIV Vaccine Trials Network. In partnership with the world's largest publicly funded international collaboration, the HVTN is dedicated to evaluating vaccines to prevent HIV and COVID-19. But their impact doesn't stop there. The HVTN is at the forefront of advancing vaccinology, social and behavioral sciences, statistics, immunology, and even contributing to the research on tuberculosis and COVID-19 vaccines. By supporting Conversations with Clergy, the HVTN not only brings you thought-provoking discussions, but also contributes to the global effort to combat infectious diseases. Tune in, stay informed, and be a part of the change. Conversations with Clergy, supported by the HVTN, empowering conversations, empowering lives. Join us in this journey of knowledge, understanding, and progress. Conversations with Clergy, proudly brought to you by the HIV Vaccine Trials Network, because together we can make a difference.
And we're back, you guys. Thank you guys so much for coming on back. We are getting ready to head into our Maverick talk. So let's get on into it. But before we do, make sure you guys hit that like button, share, and subscribe. It does help the algorithm, and we want to thank you guys for tuning on in to the Unusual Mavericks, brought to you by all of our sponsors, to include Blerd and Play Radio. Shout out. All right, y'all, let's get into the Maverick talk. Like I said, you guys, before,
it's a reboot, so you don't even need to go through the recap anymore.
I don't have to go through the recap.
Reset.
It's a whole reset, y'all. It's a whole new thing here. If I can just pull it up. There we go. All right. So like you guys, like we talked about before, we talked about Black influencers, right? And so all of like the different Black influencers that had an impact into the comic world. But this time we're going into Black superhero series. So shout out to Just Dominic for producing this. It's gonna be, I'm super excited about this. I'm really, really excited about learning about different characters that may not have gotten their just desserts during the years of comics, right? And so a lot of us Black nerds, we know some of these characters, we champion for some of these characters, but it's good to kind of get to others to know about what some of these characters have done and the representation that it has brought to some young boys and girls and everybody in between. But today we're going to be talking about who is Calvin Ellis. So without further ado, Dominic?
Yes, so let me introduce Kal-El, or Calvin Ellis of Earth 23 to everyone. Kal-El is Superman of Earth 23. He is, in his civilian ID, his identity, let me speak clearly, his name is Calvin Ellis, and he has become the President of the United States of America. Years ago, the planet Krypton, just like every other version of Kal-El, was annihilated in a cataclysmic explosion, leaving almost nothing behind. The highlights of his series, his comic book series and run, are the following. He was born to Jor-El and Laura in the science capital of Vathlo Island on Krypton. Baby Kal-El was sent to Earth to escape Krypton's destruction. Calvin Ellis debuted in Final Crisis number 7 in March 2009, created by Grant Morrison and Doug Mahnke. Since 2009, Calvin Ellis has appeared in, get this, 72 comic book issues. That is quite a feat. Calvin Ellis' Krypton name, of course, is Kal-El, and of course, he is also known as Superman. He is also known as the Kryptonian President of the United States of America on Earth 23. On Earth, he became Superman second after he became the President of the United States. So his powers did not emerge until after he took office. It's very different than any other version of him. So he operates from the White House, where Brainiac serves as his personal computer, and even covers him while he does his Superman duties. So this boy was found by a poor but kind African-American, the very kind African-American Ellis family, who christened him Calvin. And they raised him to stand up for himself, no matter the odds, and always fight to do what is right. During Final Crisis, this version of Superman joined all the other white versions of Superman in a multiverse epic battle. Calvin Ellis was based on our real-life president, Barack Obama, the 44th U.S. president of the United States. There was probably another Black Superman in Legends of the DC Universe, Crisis on Infinite Earths in 1999. So there was another version of him, but not this version. That version lives on Earth D, and he is also featured with a very diverse version of the Justice League, where they have an Asian Flash and a Native American Arrow. That I would love to see, because that makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
On Earth D, the heroes also have never experienced the kind of major tragedies in their lives like they did in the standard versions. So it was a combination of a modern, multicultural sensibilities combined with a Silver Age style of innocence. So that's what Earth D was like. So again, Grant Morrison, who's the creator of both versions, kind of combined them into this now current version, Earth 23 version. And so, yes, Grant Morrison himself created the early similar version, as I just said, the Sunshine Superman, in the 1999 issue of Animal Man. So that pretty much wraps up the highlights of this Superman and what he's doing. And of course, this version of Superman, this Earth 23 version of Superman, will be featured in this new live action movie that is being produced by J.J. Abrams and the others.
And just so you guys know, thanks for that, Dominic. But just so you guys know, I did put in the comments the DC fandom article, or kind of Wikipedia version of everything that's in. If you guys want to deep dive more into Kal-El a little more, or Earth 23 Kal-El, otherwise known as Calvin Ellis, you guys can go ahead and do that. And also, there is a toy. He's out on eBay, so if you guys, for all those collectibles out there or collectors out there, you can go ahead and grab the eBay link as well.
Good idea before the series starts.
Yeah, because it's it's probably gonna go up. I already see it going up anyway, so I might have to grab one if I can snag it. But go ahead and grab what you can and enjoy, because I really think that this is going to be, the more that we start talking about it, I think we're going to start seeing a little bit more interest in, James Gunn already talked about that he was interested in doing something with a Black Superman, so as an Elseworld type thing. So that's interesting to see that if he's even considering it. So we'll see where it goes.
Apple or Amazon is producing this movie. We already talked about that. So now we have a little bit more knowledge about who he is, and what we should see.
Yeah. So we'll see where it goes. I'm looking forward to all of that. Well, that's Calvin Harris, aka Superman, the Black Superman, or President Superman.
Calvin Ellis. That's right.
All right, y'all. Well, that is gonna do it for us today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And make sure that you guys hit that like button, share, and subscribe on your way in and out. If you're watching on a replay, thank you so much for tuning in. If you're listening on Blerd and Flight Radio, shout out to all of the pilots over there. We appreciate you. And we'll see you guys in the next one. You got anything else before we go, Dominic?
No, I'm sorry I had to wrap it up so fast. I was trying to kind of get through that real fast. So hopefully everyone understood what I was trying to say.
And if you don't, you can go ahead and watch the replay or check out the links that we put in there for you guys. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one. Until then, stay unusual, y'all. Peace.
That's right.
Thank you for watching Pyro Media Network. For more information, please visit pyromedianetwork.com.